Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of our video podcast. I'm Carlos, and today we're going to talk about something essential for all of us learning English: vocabulary.
That's right, Carlos. I'm Laura, and in today's episode, we'll share different effective ways to learn and improve your English vocabulary. We're excited to start this journey with you all. Let's get started.
Since this is our first episode, let's begin with some traditional methods that are still very useful. One of these methods is using flashcards.
Flashcards are great because you can take them anywhere. There are many apps like Anki or Quizlet that allow you to create and review your flashcards anytime. Have you tried any of these apps, Carlos?
Yes, I actually use Quizlet. It's very useful because you can find pre-made sets by other users or create your own. One thing I like about Quizlet is the variety of study modes it offers. You can test yourself with quizzes, play matching games, and even listen to the pronunciation of words.
That's a great point. The audio feature helps a lot with pronunciation, which is another important aspect of learning vocabulary. Speaking of traditional methods, another technique is keeping a vocabulary notebook. Do you use one, Carlos?
Absolutely. Writing down new words by hand, along with their meaning and an example sentence, really helps with retention. I also like to review my notebook regularly, especially focusing on the words I find most difficult to remember.
Exactly. And when you write your own example sentences, it helps you understand how to use the word in context. I like to add drawings or even little doodles to make it more visual. Have you tried that?
I haven't, but that sounds like a great idea. Making the process creative can definitely make it more enjoyable and memorable.
Now let's talk about reading. Reading in English, whether it's books, articles, or blogs, is a fantastic way to come across new words. What kind of reading material do you prefer, Carlos?
I love reading mystery novels and science fiction. When I find a word I don't know, I look it up immediately and write it down. How about you, Laura?
I enjoy reading articles and blogs about travel and cooking. This way, I'm not only learning new vocabulary, but also engaging with content that interests me. Reading in different genres can expose you to various types of vocabulary, which is very beneficial.
That's true. And reading aloud can also help with pronunciation and retention. It's a great way to practice both reading and speaking skills simultaneously.
Another effective method is listening. Podcasts, audiobooks, and videos in English can expose you to new words and their correct pronunciation. Do you have any favorite podcasts, Carlos?
Yes, I often listen to The English We Speak from the BBC. It's short, informative, and introduces idiomatic expressions in a very practical way. How about you?
I love listening to Stuff You Should Know. It covers a wide range of topics, which means you're always learning new and interesting vocabulary. Listening while commuting or doing chores is a great way to immerse yourself in the language without needing extra time.
Another modern technique is using learning games and apps. Apps like Duolingo or Memrise make vocabulary learning fun and interactive. Have you used these, Laura?
Yes, I've used both. Duolingo is great for its gamified approach, which makes learning feel like playing a game. Memrise uses spaced repetition, which is fantastic for memorization. Plus, online games like Scrabble or Wordament can challenge you to think quickly and creatively with words.
Absolutely. And speaking of creative ways to learn, another technique is labeling objects around your house. Have you tried this method?
Yes, I have. It's very effective. For example, putting labels with the English names on different objects, like door on the door, fridge on the refrigerator. This helps you associate the words with real objects and reinforces learning through daily interaction.
That's a great idea. And speaking of daily life, another method is to try and think in English throughout your day. Describe what you're doing or plan your day in English. This constant practice helps reinforce the vocabulary you're learning.
Yes, immersion is crucial. Another tip is to join online forums or groups where you can practice writing and speaking in English. Engaging in conversations helps you use the vocabulary actively and get immediate feedback.
And don't forget about watching movies and TV shows in English. Try to use subtitles in English instead of your native language. This helps with understanding context and picking up new words. What kind of shows do you recommend, Laura?
I recommend starting with shows that you enjoy and are familiar with. If you like comedies, try watching Friends or The Office. For dramas, maybe Stranger Things or Breaking Bad. The key is to watch something that keeps you interested.
Yes, and if you can, try to speak with native speakers. Language exchange apps or local meetups can be a great way to practice speaking and listening in a real-world context. Have you tried any language exchange platforms, Laura?
Yes, I've used Tandem and HelloTalk. These platforms connect you with native speakers who are also learning your language. It's a great way to practice speaking and also learn about different cultures.
That's fantastic. Before we wrap up, let's share some final tips. One thing that has really helped me is setting specific goals. For example, aiming to learn 5 new words each day. It keeps me motivated and on track.
Setting goals is crucial. Another tip is to review regularly. Repetition is key to moving vocabulary from short-term to long-term memory. Also, try to use new words in sentences or even in conversations as soon as possible.
Great advice, Laura. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Language learning is a process, and errors are part of that process. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve.
Absolutely. And be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time and effort, but with consistent practice, you will see progress.
So, to recap, we've discussed various methods for learning English vocabulary. Flashcards, vocabulary notebooks, reading, listening, language learning apps, games, labeling objects, thinking in English, joining online forums, watching TV shows and movies, and speaking with native speakers.
We hope you found these tips helpful. Remember, the key is to find the methods that work best for you and stick with them. Consistency and practice are your best friends in language learning.
Now, we have a fun activity to help you remember what we've discussed today. We're going to play a quick quiz game. Are you ready?
Here's how it works. We'll ask you 5 questions about the methods we talked about, and you'll have a few seconds to think of the answers. Let's get started.
What is one benefit of using flashcards?
They help with pronunciation through audio features.
What is a good practice when keeping a vocabulary notebook?
Write the word, meaning, and an example sentence.
How can reading help you learn new vocabulary?
It exposes you to new words in context.
What kind of content does Carlos like to listen to for learning English?
Podcasts.
Which TV show does Laura recommend for beginners to watch for learning English?
Friends.
Thanks for joining us in our very first episode. We're thrilled to have you with us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up if you liked the episode, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
Yes, thank you. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, leave them in the comments below. We're here to help you on your language learning journey. Also, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos.
And don't forget to share this video with your friends who are also learning English.
See you next time.
Soy